Week 15, and we're in Glendale, Arizona for the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals trying to keep their second half run going, looking for their fourth straight win and trying to keep their NFC playoff hopes alive. Bill McAtee along with Steve Tasker, Pat Shurmur on the Cleveland sideline. It's been a difficult week dealing with the Colt McCoy concussion issues, as well as with the team that comes in today having lost 6 of their last 7. A different story for Ken Whisenhunt and the Arizona Cardinals. They struggled early in the season, but now come in playing almost as well as anyone in the National Football League, with come-from-behind wins over the last 2 weeks over the 49ers and the Cowboys. They are 1 win away for Ken Whisenhunt from him becoming the winningest coach in Cardinals franchise history. The Browns won the toss. They'll receive to get things started. Josh Cribbs back deep, 8 kickoff returns for touchdowns in his career, and here we go in Glendale. Cribbs out across the 20 to near the 23-yard line. Seneca Wallace making his first start of the year for the Cleveland Browns. He's played in only 3 games this season, completing both of his pass attempts. He spent 7 years in Seattle running the West Coast offense for Mike Holmgren, and perhaps the 31-year-old veteran can provide a spark for this Cleveland offense that has struggled to get into the end zone. They spot it at the 24-yard line, and that's where the Cleveland Browns will go 1st and 10. Offset eye, Peyton Hillis is the deep back. Hillis, big hole up the middle for Peyton Hillis. Out across the 40-yard line. To the 41 goes Peyton Hillis.
Well, he comes right out of the deep set eye. Nothing fancy. He's just going to take it right up between the guards. Great double team down inside by Mack and Pinkston. Gives Hillis the opportunity to break off a great run in the first play of the game.
18 yards on the play for Peyton Hillis. Power eye. Wallace over the little, the rookie. Nice move. And a first down for the Cleveland Browns. Here the Browns up front, and they will have their hands full today against this aggressive Cardinal defense. Joe Thomas, their perennial Pro Bowler at left tackle, the backs and receivers. Peyton Hillis, the face of the Browns franchise a year ago, is as healthy as he's been all season. His future in Cleveland, one of the many decisions the Browns will face in the offseason. 1st and 10 after a pickup of 12. Hillis, again a big hole for Peyton Hillis, and he rumbles for another first down inside the 35-yard line. Kerry Rhodes made the stop.
Well, as you just mentioned, Peyton Hillis wasn't healthy for a good part of the season. Hamstring injury, came back too soon, re-injured it. Pat Shurmur told us a few weeks ago, when this guy's in the game, everything changes, and you can tell. The Cleveland Browns came out with a steady game plan. Give it to number 40 and see what they can do. And right now, Arizona doesn't have an answer.
Their first 3 plays, 18, 12, and 12. Hillis stopped after a pickup of 1. Here's a look at this Cardinal defense that has played so well during the second half surge. The big men have been spectacular up front. Calais Campbell with 7 sacks on the season. The linebackers are terrific. Darrell Washington in his second year out of TCU is a superstar in waiting. And the secondary, Wilson has gone to 3 straight Pro Bowls at safety, and Patrick Peterson has had an outstanding rookie year. The Cardinals think he could be a fixture in corner for a long time. 2nd and 9 on this opening drive for the Cleveland Browns in Arizona territory. They're going deep. Incomplete. Massacra was the intended receiver, and he made the catch.
They're talking it over, but it looked like he came down with it. He might have come down on the white line. Now you see him there saying, hey, we better get it going.
29 yards if it stands, and they'll spot it inside the 5.
He doesn't think he caught it. I think he did, but he's saying, Coach, we better run a play really quick. You can see when he gives that little illegal procedure call with his hands, he does not want them to challenge this.
Whisenhunt had the flag in his hand, but didn't challenge. Hillis up the middle, fighting his way down to the 1-yard line.
Great throw by Wallace. You know, Pat Shurmur told us Seneca Wallace coming in. Now, he played in Seattle for a lot of years under Mike Holmgren, who brought him into the league, and has a lot of experience in this West Coast offense. Now, he's been a backup his whole career, but he's a good athlete, A great arm, and I think as a backup, you got to love the fact that he knows this offense probably better than the starter, Colt McCoy. At least he's got more experience in it.
Second and goal from the 1.
Let's go now.
Cardinal defense has been stingy. Hillis, touchdown. Touchdown, Peyton Hillis on the opening drive for the Cleveland Browns, and that has been a rarity this season.
And boy, you had to know it was coming. The way he carried this offense during that first drive, pounding it up inside, you knew that the Browns were going to at least try it once when they got down close. Give it to him, let him see, and that's a lot of weight and a lot of momentum to get stopped in that short a distance.
Peyton Hillis missed 6 games overall this season. Comes in still looking for his first 100-yard game after a big season a year ago, and he has the Browns on the board.
Really impressive opening drive by Cleveland.
Dawson with the extra point. And the Cleveland Browns march it down the field.
You know, Cleveland had one thing going for them when they came into this. The Arizona Cardinals run the exact same defense that the Pittsburgh Steelers run. Same looks, same stunts, and they just played the Steelers 10 days ago. So with an extra long week, playing the exact defensive scheme that they gave all they could handle to 10 days ago, the Cleveland Browns get a second shot at that same defense, and Arizona has not seen this Cleveland Brown offense. So it's logical to assume that Cleveland got off to that fast start because they're not looking at anything they didn't just get a nice tutorial looking at 10 days ago in Pittsburgh.
5 carries for Hillis on that drive for 35 yards and a touchdown. Key play, the reception by Massaquoi down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
And Mike Holmgren looking down from up in the press box. Gotta like what he saw from that offensive drive.
Rod Stevens howling back deep for the Cardinals, awaiting the Dawson kick. 5 yards deep, he brings it out. There's a marker down. Stevens howling takes it out to the 21-yard line, but let's check the penalty.
Illegal block in the back, number 87. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Scott Green, our referee today. Kevin Cobb remains out with a concussion, so John Skelton gets his 9th NFL start today. Hit some big plays last week in the win against the 49ers. His results have been pretty good. If you include last week, where he took over after the first series, he's 4-1 in games this season where he's gotten the majority of the snaps.
He's a good athlete. One of the things about him is his ability to escape pressure and extend plays like Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, and let's face it, the Cleveland Browns saw a lot of that last week.
Long field to start for the Cardinals from their own 3-yard line. Browns showing blitz, and here they come. Roberts. Chris Skokong made the stop. Well, Lyle Sinline, the former rookie free agent at center, the backs and receivers. Browns have given up some big games on the ground. Beanie Wells having an outstanding season. Arizona would love to get him going today. Second and 6.
Alert, Levi.
Rod Stevens howling is in the game from the shotgun. They give it to Stevens howling. And looks like just short of a first down. DeQuell Jackson made the stop. Cleveland defense coming off a tough physical game against Pittsburgh. Jamal Sheard, the second-round pick, has had a tremendous rookie season. The linebackers, DeQuell Jackson is having a Pro Bowl quality year. And in the secondary, in his second season, the talented young corner for Cleveland, Joe Hayden. And watch him as he matches up today against Larry Fitzgerald. 3rd and 1. Opening possession for the Arizona Cardinals.
You just saw Dick Duran, the defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns.
Wells. Beanie Wells has a first down out to the 15-yard line. Ataba Rubin made the stop.
Yeah, this is a short yardage goal line package, but Arizona Cardinals do it with 2 wide receivers in the game. They split both to the right. The tight end goes left, and they run to the heavy side with the tight end. And Beanie Wells, who, when you watch them play, the thing that strikes you first about Beanie is he's tall. He's one of those kind of angular backs. You wouldn't expect him to be good, but he is very good inside the tackles and in short yardage situations.
He came in needing 57 yards for his first 1,000-yard season. Play action, Skelton on the slant, Roberts the intended receiver, and he took a shot.
Yeah, he's working against Sheldon Brown here, and then at the end, Young is going to come in and put a good hit on him. And so much has been said, it's getting to the point where every time you see a play like this, you look around to see if the official's going to throw a flag, particularly with these two teams, both starting quarterbacks out with concussions.
Osama Young, Steve, starting at strong safety. T.J. Ward practiced a little bit this week, but still not ready to come back.
51.
2nd and 10. Wells trying to get to the corner. And pushed out of bounds, nowhere to go. DeQuell Jackson shoved him out.
You talk about what's happening with this Cleveland Brown defense, you see there.
Well, they came in ranked 8th in the league in points allowed with the NFL's 2nd-ranked pass defense. Their Achilles heel has been against the run. Cleveland 31st, giving up an average of 150 yards a game, but they had some outstanding goal line stands 10 days ago against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's a team that continues to improve, and sometimes it's frustrating because the team knows they're improving before it's evident that they're improving.
Skelton trying to hit Chester Taylor, who was locked up. Incomplete. Arizona will have to punt.
And I think Skelton just got a little bit impatient in the pocket. He could have slid a little bit further to the right, avoided that pressure, and made sure of a better throw, but he threw that off balance a little bit sidearm because of the pressure in his face. And instead of being a first down, they're going to have to punt it away.
Dave Zastudil, originally from Bay Village, Ohio, kicked for the Browns from 2000 until last year. Spent last season on IR and inside with the Cardinals. Cribbs have a chance to return this one. Into Arizona territory, a nice return by Josh Cribbs.
Well, you alluded to his touchdowns on returns, but both these clubs have punt returners they are very confident in. Josh Cribbs and, of course, Patrick Peterson for the Cardinals. And Josh Cribbs, though, I actually spoke to him this morning briefly, and I said, he's one of the few guys who returns punts and covers them extremely well. He knows he's got his work cut out for him when Peterson's back there catching punts as well.
He just likes being on the field. That was a 52-yard punt, by the way, and a 26-yard return by Josh Cribbs. Great field position to start for the Browns, already leading 7-0. Seneca Wallace, incomplete. Was trying to hit Jordan Norwood.
Norwood is a guy who's starting to gain more confidence and more responsibility because of it. He's starting to play better. You see here the drop. He's been, I think, their most reliable guy. I mean, he drops fewer than any other receiver on this squad. That's been a problem for the Browns.
He stepped up and made some big catches for Cleveland. He had a 51-yarder, a career long 3 weeks ago against Jacksonville. Came in averaging 17 yards a reception. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. They give it to Peyton Hillis, who has some running room and finally slides down at the 40. Pickup of 6.
Yeah, it's a soft surface. It's a natural surface here, even though we're indoors. As Hillis comes out, you'll see he tries to cut off the wrong foot right there. Cuts off his inside foot instead of his outside just because of it. And watch, he plays with his left foot. It slips away from him and loses it. Probably cost him about 5 yards, which could have been a first down.
3rd and 4. Browns trying to keep this second drive alive after marching it down the field in their opening possession. They have not played with the lead very often this season. Wallace with time. Incomplete. Jordan Norwood was well covered.
Kerry Rhodes was spying that pass. He jumped this very late in the route. Watch as Wallace lets this go. Rhodes just misses that. He comes from the safety position to get in between and knock it away. It looked like he was going to have an opportunity to pluck it, but he didn't.
Fred Maynard on to punt. He has been brilliant in punts inside the 20. He has 24 placed inside the 20 and no touchbacks this season. Peterson, the deep man, but he'll let this one go, and this one will also be down at about the 10-yard line. 7:58 left to go in the first. The Browns lead at 7-0. Another long field for the Arizona Cardinals. Their first possession, they started at their own 3, this time from their own 10-yard line. Midway through the first period. Stevens, Howling, and Wells both in the backfield. Now, Howling goes in motion, lines up as a wide receiver. They give it to Beanie Wells, whole left side to the 15-yard line. DeQuell Jackson made this tackle after a pickup of 5. DeQuell Jackson came in second in the league in tackles with 125, 3 sacks and 3 fumble recoveries and an interception.
Yeah, you can bet that DeQuell Jackson and Beanie Wells are going to be close friends after this game. Beanie Wells has already met him face-to-face in the hole a couple of times, and it's going to continue all afternoon.
2nd and 5 for the Cardinals. Skelton, short drop. Robertson complete, in and out of his hands. Third time they've gone to Andre Roberts in his 2nd year out of the Citadel, 3rd-round draft pick.
And you'll see as he's going to go up, and Brown is going to come in and get him right on top of the head. That was a high throw, and Skelton, that ball sailed on him. He's the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, has had trouble getting started fast in these games. He's finished pretty good, and his second half is usually better than his first. He told us if he can just cut out the bad throws early, he'll become a much better quarterback.
Chester Taylor is the deep back. Skelton will throw. Checks it down. Larry Fitzgerald. And he has a first down for the Arizona Cardinals. Dimitri Patterson made the tackle after a pickup of 10.
Well, first target they go to Larry Fitzgerald of the day. Comes on a little crossing route against zone coverage. And you see he doesn't really run hard because once he clears and realizes it's zone, he doesn't want to run too far into the next zone. So he kind of throttles it down into the dead area, catches it, and spins upfield. Nice little outlet for Fitzgerald.
You want to jumpstart your offense, look to number 11. From the 25. Chester Taylor. Nothing there. Well, Larry Fitzgerald has had 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons now. He has 100 receiving yards in 4 games this season, and he has 5 touchdowns in his last 6 games.
We spoke to John Skelton about the matchups. He's coming into this game. He's got to look at the whole defense, and he said, we asked him, what matchups do you like? And he said, whoever's on Larry.
Heading for his 6th Pro Bowl. Almost 1,100 yards. Came in needing just 46 yards to reach 1,137, which would give him the 2nd most productive season of his career. Skelton underneath to Wells. And Beanie looks like he has a first down. Tripped up by Javal Sheard.
It's a great job by Skelton. He wanted Fitzgerald deep on a double move, play action. And as he steps up, he sees it's cut off by the safety, and the quick decision to Beanie Wells. Great job by both players. Beanie Wells sitting down, not moving, knows that he's just there in case the deep ball is not there, and Skelton finds him.
From the 35-yard line. Wells, great penetration by this Cleveland front.
Yeah, Maeva got through, and that's the crusher. Both these defenses want to get a lot of penetration. He's going to come up, and that's all it is. Just get into the backfield, and they've got to run around you. You see, he soaks up 2 blockers. Sherman's trying to block him, and then he gets in front of Hadnot coming around the edge.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 upcoming. Rod Stevens Howling in the backfield with Skelton, the quarterback. They rush 4. Skelton to Fitzgerald, incomplete.
Well, you have a camera that follows Larry Fitzgerald. He's never in it alone. I mean, there's always 2 other Browns in him. You see there, As he gets deeper, Mike Adams comes over, helps out Joe Hayden as they double him bottom and top. It's going to be a long day. It always is. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald is constantly double teamed.
We had a chance to talk to Mike Adams yesterday, and he considers Larry Fitzgerald to be the #1 wide receiver in the National Football League. But you can't stop the guy, but you can limit him, and that's what you hope for. You don't want to let him beat you. 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. That's caught by Todd Heap. He's going to be short of the first down.
And there's DeQuell Jackson once again. Todd Heap finally getting healthy and back into the lineup. Signed in July. After all the years in Baltimore, you see a little chip block. And this is what you're trying to do. You usually, a middle linebacker, it's hard for him to get out to the sideline and then make a play in space. But DeQuell Jackson is not the normal inside linebacker. He's an athlete that can make that play.
So 4th and 2 for Arizona. Cribbs will have a chance to return this one. He lets it go. And it bounds into the end zone. 7-0 Cleveland, a 56-yard punt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, now playing in theaters everywhere. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Back at University of Phoenix Stadium, Glendale, Arizona. After the touchback, the Cleveland Browns take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Browns in their first drive were unstoppable. Marched it down the field. Their second drive, 3 and out. Wallace. Nice catch by Alex Smith. He is down.
Yeah, Wallace made the catch, but he got hit very early before the ball got there. It's a great job by Smith hanging on to that football. There's no question he got hit early. There's no penalty on this play, and I'm surprised by it. There you see it. That's Wilson.
Adrian Wilson,
he got there a good half-second early.
Who can bring it. 2nd and 1. Peyton Hillis. First down Browns. Paris Lennon made the stop and a few moments ago on the Cleveland sideline after this run where Peyton Hillis had a chance to break a big one.
As you said, it was a 3-and-out series. He came out, he tapped himself, went over to Pat Sherman, said he had that. That was a first down, my fault. And it was a slip. Pat Sherman slapping him on the head with his game plan, saying, no worries, let's get another one.
Chris Obanaya has checked in. And he's the lone setback, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line for Cleveland. They lead at 7-0. Arizona on the blitz. Underneath to Obanaya. And he is brought down after a gain of 3 by Calais Campbell. Well, keep your fantasy football season going with Playoff Challenge and compete against the nation for a chance to win $5,000. Sign up now at cbssports.com/challenge.
Calais Campbell, tremendous job on that last screen pass.
6'8", over 300 pounds, and pretty quick for a big man. They spotted at the 34-yard line. 2nd and 7. Hillis. Some tough yards inside to the 36-yard line, a gain of 2. Clark Higgins, the linebacker, made the tackle.
We sat down with Calais Campbell, asked him, tell us about Joe Thomas. He said he is technically perfect and physically gifted. He's very tough to move. Other than that, he's not that great a player, but
there's a reason he's gone to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 4 seasons in the league.
Yeah, he said Joe Thomas is really special.
On their feet here in Arizona, 3rd and 5 for the Browns. These fans have gotten used to a very good Arizona defense. Wallace hit as he let it go. A flag on the play. Jordan Norwood brought it in.
This is going to be against Michael Adams. See him coming over the top of Norwood.
Holding. Defense, number 27. Penalty is declined. First down.
That was great concentration on the catch, so they declined the penalty. Let's watch it again.
See, Adams faked the blitz and then held him to stay close. At the end of the play, he's actually pretty good. He keeps his off arm up, but he held him before this. And look at the concentration by Norwood. That is fantastic.
Wallace on the move. Throws it away. All right, let's get the latest on the Broncos and the Patriots. Here's JB in New York.
Hey, Bill, 2 possessions by the Broncos, 2 scores.
2 scores. It's a shootout, JB. Lance Ball, 32 yards. They scored his second touchdown in their second possession. It's 13-7. He missed the extra point with the first touchdown. New England has the ball.
Hey, Bill and Steve, 133 rushing yards by the Broncos. Bill McAtee, Steve Tasker.
Well, our guy Shannon Sharp told us he thought the Broncos would win a shootout, and those other guys laughed at him. I hope he's giving it to him.
Hillis out to the 47-yard line. Patriots need a win or a loss by the Jets to wrap up the AFC East. The way the Broncos defense has played, there haven't been many shootouts involving Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos.
Oh, unless you count the fourth quarter.
And that's true. That'll take us to the end of the opening quarter. Cleveland Browns lead it 7-0, and we'll return to Glendale after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Vote to send your favorite players to the 2012 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to MyNFL. That's 69635. Balloting closes this Monday night. Ready to start quarter number 2, and for the notoriously poor starting Cleveland Browns this season, a very productive first quarter, 7 points and 110 yards. 3 rushes, 4 passes on this drive for 28 yards, facing a 3rd and 4. Seneca Wallace at quarterback from the shotgun. Steps up, takes off, he's going to have a first down into Arizona territory, down around the 45-yard line.
Well, Wallace has always been a good athlete. You see here, he goes to his second option, tries to go to the third, and just decides to pull it down. He sees it open up right in front of him, right there, and takes off. Great job getting the first down, and if he can continue to do that, there's no question Mike Holmgren and these Cleveland Browns are going to like this day.
From the 45-yard line, empty backfield, Seneca Wallace. Jordan Cameron, the rookie out of USC, with his second NFL reception.
Talked to Pat Shurmur. He said there are a few guys now with the season that's gone the way it has for Cleveland, and he wants to start looking at guys that may have a huge upside. Cameron is one of those. I mean, a guy out of USC, big, raw, very talented. But let's face it, it's a complicated game at the level he's at right now, and he's got a little to learn.
Hillis. Cameron Jordan was, as the ball came out, was primarily a basketball player before joining the football team at USC for a couple of seasons.
And you see there the scramble. Peyton Hillis actually threw that ball away. He was on his back and just kind of, like you see guys do. You see he's down, he just lets it go. He's not panicked. He knows he was down, and there's no question he was.
So 3rd and 1.
Browns having a hard time getting their personnel. They're going to have to take a timeout here if they don't get in and out of the huddle quickly.
Play clock inside of 10 seconds.
Yeah, there it is. Seneca Wallace had to take a timeout. When you play a defense this complicated, you need as long a look at it as you can get, and there just wasn't enough time for Seneca Wallace.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. And by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K.
After the timeout, 3rd and 1 for Cleveland. Ball spotted at the Arizona 36-yard line. Browns lead it 7-0 early in the second. Power high formation. Hillis the deep back. Inside handoff to Hillis. Moves the pile for a first down. Down around the 34-yard line. Some extra pushing and shoving after the whistle.
There it is, and this is what's going to happen. Hillis just slams it in and then gets a little bit of leverage to get the first down. I mean, that's just push and shove. As you see there, Pinkston coming in, giving a little bit of extra to the guy standing around the pile. But that's just guy on guy, and really, more often than not, it's just the snap count and who gets a better jump.
The Browns really have missed Hillis's production from their offense this season. Out a total of 6 games, but told us that this is as healthy as he's felt all year. First down, pump fake from Wallace. Goes through his progression. Incomplete, intended for Norwood. Richard Marshall had fine coverage on the play.
Yeah, you look, this is what happened on the other side. Greg Little comes wide open, but the first read for Wallace was to his right. So many times when they're playing zone coverage like they were then, when the quarterback looks one way, the defenders forget about the other side of the field.
Another long drive for the Cleveland Browns. This is the 13th play of the drive. Wallace. Lots of time and finally incomplete. Little was the intended receiver.
Well, you could see the wheels turning in Seneca Wallace's head. The clock was running out. He looked hard right in the middle, then looked back in the middle to Little, and I think that's a hold that Peterson gets away with. And he saw Little stop, hesitate, and try to move, and Patrick Peterson, using a little wily veteran move as a rookie.
Rookie out of LSU, first-round pick, has the potential to be a big-time player for a lot of years at cornerback. 3rd and 10 for the Browns. Short drop for Wallace. They run the slant to Norwood. And he's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a field goal opportunity, but this is just a quick slant. And if you're going to run a quick pass, the guy's got to break the tackle or it's going to be a 4th down. You see Peterson, he is hard inside. Norwood does a great job of using his technique to get inside of a corner that doesn't want him to.
And the challenge flag is out. Whether or not Jordan Norwood had possession.
All right, the Cardinal defenders thought that ball slipped down his legs onto the ground. And this is crucial because it'll push him out of field goal range.
Arizona is challenging the ruling on the field on the previous play.
All right, so Scott Green will have a look and we'll step away. Browns lead at 7-0 in the second. Scott Green will have the decision in a moment.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver never lost possession of the ball. It never hit the ground. It'll be 4th down. Arizona will be charged with a timeout.
It's a great catch by Jordan Norwood. The second one here in the first half. As you see, he's dealing with Peterson all over him. The ball gets down his legs but never hits the top of the grass. Tremendous concentration.
For a team that has had a lot of drops. A couple of outstanding catches here in the opening half.
The reason that was a challenge, because it's going to be 4th down anyway, but it went from a 53-yarder or 54-yarder down to a 42-yarder.
Well, he'll kick it from the 34, so a 44-yard field goal try for Phil Dawson. Got it. 21 of 26 now in the season. And that extends the Cleveland lead to 10-0 with 11:33 left to play in the half. Solid performance from Seneca Wallace so far. A 15-play drive. Wallace 7 of 12 for 75 yards. Rod Stevens Howling is back deep, waiting the kickoff from Phil Dawson. 4 yards deep, he brings it out. And brought down hard at the 21-yard line by Josh Cribbs. Skelton back to work when we return. We know what Josh Cribbs can do with the football, but here he is on kick coverage.
So he's the guy that tackles Stevens Howling, and then of course Titus Brown comes in, gets away with a little bit of a face mask. Never called.
Cardinals start 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Back to Wells, cuts it back inside. A nice pickup on 1st down. It's some tough hitting there. Kaluka Mayava brought him down. The outside linebacker, pickup of 7.
Well, Kaluka Mayava got hit hard. Look at the tight end just facing inside on the 2-point. Watch this hit. Beanie Wells delivers it. Mayava brings him down, but Beanie Wells, man, oh man.
Second and 3 for the Cardinals. They trail by 10. Wells, little stutter step, gets the 1st down. DeQuell Jackson tripped him up.
Beanie Wells with a little hesitation gets to the edge of the defense, and of course DeQuell Jackson right there to make that tackle.
Gain of 5. Let's watch Larry Fitzgerald
working against Hayden. To me, that's a dangerous position for a guy like Fitzgerald. All receivers, they come out to block a defensive back. They don't know what kind of train wreck is coming up behind him to roll him up, but they still have to kind of hang in there.
Rod Stevens Howling is in the backfield as Skelton throws underneath. Anthony Sherman dropped immediately at the 40-yard line. Sherman, the rookie out of UConn, the fullback, a gain of 6.
DeQuell Jackson is always around the football. He has, just emerged as the heart and soul of that defense.
Having a tremendous season, a guy the Browns would really like to keep around going forward. Had a huge game against the Steelers with 13 tackles, a sack, and he recovered a fumble. 2nd and 4 for the Cardinals. Stevens Howling. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Chris Gokong.
That was great defense by the front. DeQuell Jackson shifted the defensive lineman to the left side of the offense, and then the linebackers skate to the side where the run actually happens. Gokong standing right there waiting for the ball to come out. DeQuell Jackson knifing in to blow that play up, and Gokong skating to the outside, and Howling runs right into him.
And Gokong played big on a couple of the goal line stands last week against Pittsburgh. 3rd and 5 for Arizona. Skelton in traffic. That's caught by Chancey Stuckey. And he has a 1st down for the Arizona Cardinals. Chancey Stuckey, who played for Cleveland the last 2 seasons. Last year had 40 catches for 346 yards in a Cleveland uniform.
And Skelton rifles this in. One of the things about him is that Cobb and Skelton both once in a while will take chances with the football. And you see it there. He got away with it. Hag right there and threw it through some traffic to get it there.
Gain of 7 from the 46-yard line. Alfonso Smith gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Gokong made the stop. Thursday on CBS. What if you can stop a crime before it happens? These two heroes can. Don't miss two-hit drama, Person of Interest. Thursday, only CBS. No gain on the previous play. 2nd and 10. Upcoming for the Arizona Cardinals. They trail by 10. Cardinals still have not crossed midfield. Wells, the lone setback. Fitzgerald in motion. Play action. Skelton. Out to Doucette. And finally into Cleveland territory, pushed out of bounds by Chris Gokong.
Well, it's easy to see why Skelton is a guy that the Cardinals are very high on and very comfortable with him. You see the ease with which he throws this from the left hash mark all the way out to the right sideline. You see him just steps it. Nice quick throw, quick release, right on the money. It's a nice gain on a 2nd and long that gives him 3rd and 4, which is a down that is very manageable.
The 48-yard line. Skelton. Down he goes. Jabal sheared. And he has been a disruptive force off the edge for the Browns. 2nd-round pick, the rookie out of Pitt.
And it happened so fast, Skelton didn't have a chance to extend the play. Coming from right outside. And you see him gives the nice inside move on the rush. And man, oh man, what a great move. As Keith had no shot at the right tackle spot. Shear just runs right by him. Wow.
Strips the deep man. Fields it at the 15. Flag down about midfield.
This is going to go against Cleveland.
If it stands, a 41-yard
During
punt.
the kick, holding, number 90, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, 1st down.
That will negate the 10-yard return. 6:13 left to play in the half. Cleveland 10-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hanes. Look great, feel great in a Hanes undershirt with the lay-flat collar. Radio Shack. Radio Shack has what you need to make the holidays so right. And by National Car Rental. Go National. Go like a pro.
And there he is, our friend and colleague Dan Deerdorf in the Cardinals Ring of Honor. Number 72. One of the best ever. 1st and 10 for the Browns. From their own 8. Hillis. Across the 10. Out to around the 14-yard line. Peyton Hillis has had a nice start to his day. Show you what he's done so far after the pickup of 7.
See, that first play from scrimmage opens up big. This is on the first drive. You see, this is the difference maker in the touchdown, just powering his way into the end zone.
The Browns had had only one rushing touchdown since week 3 prior to that one. Hillis again. Some tough running for a 1st down. Darrell Washington made the tackle.
We asked him
about that unique old-school looking face mask. We asked him where he got it. He said it was in the equipment room. He saw it laying around one day, had it put on his helmet, liked how it looked, and he kept it. He said, you know, it looks like something you've seen from one of those big plow horse kind of backs back in the 50s and 60s, and that is exactly the look I want.
It looks like the grill of a truck.
Hillis 13 carries, 65 yards, and he adds to that. Brought down hard. Muscle against muscle at the 21-yard line. That was Washington, the linebacker, with the big hit.
Well, Darrell Washington sends a message to Peyton Hillis. Like that, he got a high load. You see there, getting some help from Kerry Rhodes. Of both of them, Peyton Hillis is going to remember that one for a few plays.
Darrell Washington, highly regarded out of TCU, and he's been a star in the making this season at inside linebacker. 2nd and 7 for the Browns from their own 22-yard line. Seneca Wallace caught by Norwood. And Norwood's close to another 1st down.
Yeah, Norwood is quickly becoming a pretty dependable receiver. Comes out just going to run out and just stop and turn around. And it looks simple, but it's so, at this level, you've got to learn as a receiver in the NFL to run as fast as you possibly can and stop in about 2 or 3 steps. Norwood can do that, and that's why you can maintain and keep separation from those corners. They may be able to react, but they don't stop that quickly.
3 catches for 21 yards for Jordan Norwood. First and 10 from the Cleveland 29-yard line. 10-0 Browns. 3.5 minutes left to play in the half. Arizona showing blitz. And here they come, and they're going to have a false start.
False start. Offense, number 81.
Alex Smith.
5-yard penalty. First down.
The tight end. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Gower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Busy week 15. Lots of great action early. And of course, the stunning result is Kansas City. Their first game under Romeo Crennel ends the Packers' unbeaten season, 1914. Hillis. Not much there to the 25-yard line. Richard Marshall came knifing in from his cornerback position.
Arizona bringing a lot of blitzers in from the corner on the outside, from the top of the screen, and from the bottom of the screen off the slot. And Hillis almost slips through, but Marshall able to grab just enough of him right around the waist to bring him down. If Marshall doesn't make that play, that's a big one. Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator just over this year from Pittsburgh, in his first year has got this defense playing extremely well.
Second and 14. Out into the flat, trying to get Cribbs in space, and he is gang tackled. Harris Lennon, the inside linebacker, led the charge.
Yeah, this Arizona defense under Ray Horton has really played well. After a slow start, they're getting it done.
That takes us down to the 2-minute warning in this first half. 10-0 Browns. The Cardinals are trying to accomplish something they haven't done in the regular season in more than a decade, and that's to win 4 straight games. The last time they accomplished that feat was back in 1999. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Third and 11 for Cleveland. Seneca Wallace, corner blitz, shovel pass incomplete. Put it at the feet of Peyton Hillis, just trying to get rid of it.
Exactly. They came with a lot of pressure. You'll watch here, the pressure's going to come from all of those guys, and Seneca Wallace wants to set up a screen pass to Hillis, but the Cardinals are all over it. They smell it out. Hillis would have gotten crushed if he'd have thrown it, so he decides to throw it away, punt it. It's a smart move.
And back deep, he's fast and dangerous. 4 punt returns for touchdowns this season. He needs 1 more to set an NFL record. And Maynard says nothing doing. Kicks it away from Peterson, out of bounds.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Allstate. Shop less, get more. Make one call to an Allstate agent. And by Best Buy. Find the perfect gift online or in-store this holiday season at Best Buy.
And we're back, and here's why you don't punt it to Patrick Peterson. 4 punt returns for touchdowns. A 5th would give him the NFL record. No one before has had 4 at 80-plus yards each.
And Maynard doing the right thing, punting that one out of bounds.
Skelton. That's caught by Todd Heap around the 42-yard line.
Skelton, who's well-versed in the shotgun hurry-up offense. He ran a lot of that at Fordham University where he played collegiately.
Second and 3, and again underneath, and incomplete. Intended for Fitzgerald right at the sticks. Dimitri Patterson might have gotten a hand in there. Cardinals have had 1 snap in Cleveland territory, and Skelton was promptly sacked and pushed back.
Well, there you go.
They have him right where they want him.
Yeah, it's no time to panic. I know that. Cardinals are very familiar with trailing at halftime.
3rd and 3, just under a minute and a half left to go in the first half. Skelton Got rid of it just in time. That's caught and a first down. Todd Heap once again.
Yeah, the pressure got to him. Otaba Rubin got him.
18 yards, and the Cardinals, Steve, are in business.
Yeah.
In Cleveland territory from the Browns' 40. Skelton toward the sideline. Again, Todd Heap. He had missed 6 games this season battling a hamstring injury, but back healthy. And coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from Week 15. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
Yeah, when the story of this season is written for the Cardinals, it's going to be about the toll that the lockout took on this team. They were very slow to start this season, losing 6 straight. Got it finally turned around, and now are playing as well as anybody, but it might be too little too late.
Minute left in the half, 2nd and 3. Skelton flips it out. That's caught. Chester Taylor with another first down for the Cardinals, and they're going to want a timeout. A gain of 10.
Yeah. Wisenhunt ran down the field, took the timeout. Skelton was just trying to get it. You see the little fist bump from Chester Taylor. What a great play by Skelton. What poise the guy shows. Steps up, takes some contact, stays with it, and muscles it out for the completion. Great job.
Skelton 4 of 5 for 42 yards on this drive. Cardinals looking for their first points of the game. 51 seconds left to play in the half. Deepest penetration so far. Pump fake. Ball's on the ground. Early Doucette, and they will rule it a catch.
Yeah, catching a fumble.
Mike Adams gave him a shot. And they're running the clock, so no time to talk.
Yeah, they may review it from upstairs, but the coaches cannot as the officials are fumbling around with a football. Now they'll stop the clock. And I think he had 2 feet down and possession. No question the ball was dislodged. He's got to catch it, hold it, and have 2 feet down, which he does. Then the ball comes out. I think that's a catch fumble.
That was a perfect shot right on the football by the safety, Mike Adams.
But as you and I know, every time I think I know how this is going to turn out, they always go the opposite of what I think.
Of course, no challenge inside of 2 minutes. All has to come from the booth upstairs.
We talk about a good throw by Skelton. We spoke to Skelton on Friday. I told him I actually got an opportunity to see Skelton play in college for Fordham. I saw him play at a game against Cornell University, and I didn't know anything about the Fordham program. I didn't know John Skelton, but about in the middle of the second quarter, I was grabbing a program trying to find out who he was, because he lit up the Big Red of Cornell for over 400 yards on that day. He smiled and said, I remember that game because I set the school record that day. So, and I kind of followed him ever since that, wondering what his career would do. I knew he'd get an opportunity to play at this level, and here we see him today.
Quite a journey from El Paso, Texas. He had no D1 scholarship offers, and he felt like he could play. Had a friend in the Northeast and went on a visit, looked at a couple of schools, went to Columbia and ended up at Fordham, and was a 5th-round pick last year.
He's a good athlete, a very good runner. In fact, that's one of the things that Ken Wisenhunt told us about him. He's a really good runner with the football.
He's a big guy at 6'6".
Good speed. We watched him on Friday practice, and this is exactly the place on the field where we watch them run some plays down close in the red zone, and the guy makes all the throws. And it's interesting to see a guy and the long bumpy road some players take to the NFL, and John Skelton one of them. Of course, there you see the guy he replaced, Cobb, who's out with a concussion.
And every game feels like a playoff game now for the Arizona Cardinals, trying to make the postseason. After a 1-6 start, it doesn't happen very often, but the Cincinnati Bengals started 1-6 in 1970 and won out to get to the playoffs, finishing 8-6 in a 14-game season.
The way it is now, if Detroit loses today, even if the Arizona Cardinals don't beat Cleveland, they're still not mathematically eliminated. But if they win and Detroit loses, obviously their chances become better.
Cardinals trying to even
After
their
reviewing
record
the
at
play,
7-7.
the receiver did not have possession of the ball. With 2 feet on the ground, the pass is ruled incomplete.
Your record is
It'll be
perfect.
second down and 10 on the 23-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 46 seconds. Thank you.
Well, there's the ball
Thank
against
you.
his chest, and both feet got down with the ball in his chest. They must have said he didn't have. I don't know. I give up.
Nevertheless,
I thought he had the thing trapped against his chest, and I thought he got that second foot down as Adams came in and gave him a shot.
so they move them back to the 23-yard line. It'll be second and 10. 46 seconds left to play in the half.
Still in field goal range, though.
Skelton, lots of time underneath to Chester Taylor, and Taylor squirms through for a first down. DeQuell Jackson made the stop. They'll spot it at around the 12-yard line. Taylor again.
Now they'll take the timeout, their last timeout. With 25 seconds, they can take a couple of shots at the end zone if they so desire.
Larry Fitzgerald and everyone in the stadium, and certainly on the Cleveland sideline, will be watching number 11.
Well, if they're taking the shot to the end zone,
25
I would
seconds
cover
left to
number
play in the
11
half.
with 2 guys, at least. No timeouts left for Arizona, so they have to throw the football, and they cannot really throw it short of the end zone.
Skelton as Browns rush 4 to the end zone. Touchdown, Andre Roberts.
And that was a tremendous throw by John Skelton as he stepped up in the pocket, went to his secondary receiver, Roberts, who was coming across on the route, and just fit it in front of the deep coverage, right over the top of the underneath coverage. Breaks to the sideline. You see there just over the top of Adams in the corner. Wow.
And tremendous pass protection from the offensive line. Feely with the extra point. The Cardinals are on the board. It's a 3-point ball game with 19 seconds left to play in the first half. Touchdown, Arizona. Andre Roberts. 9 plays, 65 yards. It took only a minute and a half, and John Skelton marched him down the field.
You know, he asked Wisenhunt on Friday, is there any speculation about maybe just sticking with John Skelton? He makes all the throws like this, as the defense jumps Larry Fitzgerald and then fits it back into Roberts. He said, no, not at this point. Neither guy has played enough to evaluate yet.
Cripps takes a knee.
Well, even though we talked about Larry Fitzgerald being the guy, he's right here. Watch the defense. They'll use Fitzgerald as a way for Robertson to go right in behind him into the gap created. Well, that's a great concept. Send a guy deep on the outside to clear the sideline short in the end zone, and then Roberts goes around Fitzgerald, who you know is going to get a lot of attention, and he finds the open area. Great throw by Skelton as well.
Browns will let the first half come to an end. Andre Roberts has now had 3 straight games with either 100 yards or a touchdown, and he has put the Arizona Cardinals on the board. So 10-7 Cleveland. As we've reached the end of the first half, we'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Ready to start the third quarter, 10-7 Cleveland. Bill McAtee back with Steve Tasker. And Steve, a very entertaining and well-played first half.
Absolutely. Browns got off to a fast start offensively, and the Arizona Cardinals finished very strong in the first half. And it looks like it's going to be a tight game right down to the wire.
All right, let's now take a look at our Droid Razor play presented by Motorola just before halftime. Cardinals got on the board. John Skelton to Andre Roberts. A 9-yard touchdown pass to make it 10-7 at the half. 13 of 19 for 114 yards and a touchdown for Skelton. And Steve, the first half numbers.
Yeah, and I think this is the big number. The Browns controlled the clock, time of possession. I think Seneca Wallace and that offense putting together a 15-play, 54-yard drive really set the tone and gave the Browns confidence that they can move the chains and get something done. Seneca Wallace, I think, has done a nice job of keeping plays alive and spreading the football around.
He had one of the best passing days of his career against the Cardinals when he was with Seattle. It was here in Arizona back in 2008. He threw for over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dawson ready to kick it away to start the third quarter. Rod Stevens howling, 4 yards deep, brings it out. Out to about the 19-yard line. Raven Trone made the stop, and that's where the Arizona Cardinals will have their first possession of the second half.
Their second half team, as you can see there, outscored 30-65 in the first in these last 5 wins. Now in the second half is when they've really turned it on, scoring 80 points over those 5 games in the second half.
Cardinals working to make a late season push to get to the playoffs, trying to win their 4th straight and 6th in their last 7. Play action. Skelton to Todd Heap, who had a big first half but couldn't make that catch.
Yeah, that was a throw Skelton made. Heap running wide open, and this is just a little too far out in front of him. It looked like Heap was going to pull it in, and I think he'd like to make that catch.
Former Pro Bowl tight end with the Ravens. Had 4 catches for 41 yards in the first half.
And that was a well-executed play, right down to the fact that they dropped the pass, but it was wide open.
Cardinals got on the board just before halftime. 2nd and 10 from the 19. Wells out to the 27-yard line. Mike Adams made the tackle.
This is how it went for the Cardinals in that first half. Nothing really until that last one. That was a 2-minute drill. And it's always interesting to me, these teams go in at halftime, they make some changes, they get a good handle on what their opponent thinks of them, and then they come out in the second half and try and decipher a way to use it against them. And the first possession of the second half is always critical in these games, particularly a game that you anticipate is going to be tight down the stretch.
3rd and 2. Rod Stevens howling is in the game. Empty backfield. Skelton incomplete. Roberts was the intended receiver, and there's a flag. Early contact perhaps by Sheldon Brown.
He doesn't like it, but he knows it's got to be on him.
Interference, defense, number 24. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Haven't had a lot of penalties today. That one will result in a first down.
Yeah, right here. And it's at the end of the play. As the ball's in the air, you see there, he just doesn't let go. Roberts comes across the formation, and Brown's got him grabbed the entire way.
Roberts in motion from the 31-yard line. End around to Roberts. Gets to the edge, cuts it back, and brought down across the 30, close to the 37-yard line by Phil Taylor. Big man moving to make the play on the outside. Taylor, the rookie out of Baylor University.
And they do this with a shift and then motion, run him across the formation, then back for the reverse. Catches the Browns leaning one way and gets to the edge of the defense. Does a great job by Phil Taylor making it to the outside, but Larry Fitzgerald working on Joe Hayden, got his hands up inside. As long as your hands are inside that guy's shoulders, you're really never going to get a holding penalty, even though Larry Fitzgerald's got 2 handfuls.
That was a gain of 7 on first down, so 2nd and 3 for the Cardinals, who scored just before halftime. Wells cannot get outside. Kaluka Mayava was all over that. He was part of that great USC linebacking class a few years ago with Clay Matthews, Brian Cushing, and Ray Malaluga.
Here he is right here, and you'll watch as this play comes through. Paxson gets through and flashes in front of Wells and scoots into the outside where Mayava is waiting. Scott Paxson doing a nice job inside, flushing the running back right to Mayava.
So 3rd and 6 for Arizona. Early in the 3rd. 10-7 Cleveland. Skelton, lots of time. Then he takes off under pressure, gets rid of it incomplete. And he had Todd Heap open.
He just couldn't turn his hips and make an accurate throw because of the pressure. He bought himself a little time, and we saw it earlier in the game as well. When he stepped wide, he just doesn't get patient enough to give himself more time. You see Heap comes open very late, runs by Jackson. As all the defenders start looking, you see there as if he could keep running and then make the throw, he might have had a chance, but he stops and tries to find Heap too early.
Zastudil, the former Brown, punted away, and that was very nearly blocked. Gibbs. Dimitri Patterson almost blocked that punt. A 53-yard punt. Look how close this was. 12:15 left to play in the 3rd. First possession of the 2nd half for the Cleveland Browns, who lead by 3 from their own 28-yard line. 1st and 10, short drop for Seneca Wallace. Out route, Massacra pushed out of bounds. Nice pickup on 1st down. Well, this holiday season, we count our blessings and thank you for making CBS America's most watched network.
And just like we said a few moments ago, this first drive is critical for both Arizona's defense and Cleveland's offense. Which team made the better adjustments at halftime and can execute them?
Wallace 10 of 16 for 91 yards. Hillis powers his way forward to the 37-yard line, tripped up by Kerry Rhodes.
You think about what Peyton Hillis meant to this team before he came back in those 6 games that he missed, and this is exactly it. 2 good hard run, well, the completion and then the hard run up inside. Every time you give it to Hillis, it's rare that he doesn't get 1 or 2, and a lot of times on a 3rd and 1 like this, just give it to him and let him push the pile. We'll see if that's the plan here.
16 carries for Hillis, 72 yards for the big man. 3rd and 1 for Cleveland. They'll throw it. Wallace under pressure, trying to escape, and does. Buys some time, throws it back to Peyton Hillis. And a marker down at midfield.
Yeah, this came in very late, and the Arizona Cardinals are saying that it was a push-off on the offense. We'll see. Yeah, and that looks like it is going to be. Peyton Hillis ended up all by himself.
Interference, offense, number 81, blocking downfield, 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You can see Alex Smith doesn't agree with that. And this happens sometimes. You see your quarterback take off and run. The receivers, tight ends, everybody out for a pass thinks he's going to go ahead and scramble for the 1st down, and they start blocking their defenders. And then if the quarterback decides to throw it, it's interference. Up here. Yeah, and there you go. You can see it.
So that will negate a big gain in a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 11 from the 27-yard line for Cleveland. Getting loud here in Glendale. Little near the sticks.
He's going to be just short. On the inside, the blitz comes, and as soon as Little sees Adams go right across his face, he just pops the football. That's a side adjust that the Cardinals are expecting. They know that certain routes are going to take place if they send that blitz. That's one of them. Wilson can't get there in time to knock the ball loose, but he does stop in what looks to be short of the first down.
As they measure.
That's exactly
Just
why.
short.
That's exactly why you don't want to get in 3rd and 11. They went from 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 11, and they don't get the first down because of it.
Is there any question what you do here?
Punt it away. You have a 3-point lead on the road. Punt it away. But you don't punt it to that guy. Punt it out of bounds again. When we talk to Peterson, he has this thing. He'll look at the football and then look down at the coverage here to see how he's doing, then look back up and then look down again before he actually catches the ball. Unbelievable concentration.
Maynard angles it toward the sideline. Peterson feels it and pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That was a 44-yard punt.
With a flag on the play.
10:07 left to go in the 3rd.
Stick around and see what that is.
Holding, receiving team number 98. During the kick, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
It's the big man Nick Eason called for the infraction.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new film Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol in theaters everywhere December 21st, rated PG-13. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Plenty of snacks available here at the ballpark. Steve, you haven't eaten in the last 4 minutes, so
kind of
I know you want to get down there. 1st and 10 for Arizona from their own 10-yard line. They trail by 3. The delay to Beanie Wells. Slashes forward to the 13-yard line. Let's take another look at Patrick Peterson on the previous punt, and that's not easy to say.
Well, no, the ball's coming out of what amounts to a 100-yard skylight above the field. He looks up, go up, down, and then up again, finally to catch the football with a guy right in his face, Adams right in his face on the sidelines. It's so difficult to pick the football up when it's in the air after you take your eye off it. He does it 3 times before he catches it. I did that in the NFL. I couldn't take my eyes off it once.
2nd and 7, Skelton. And brought down. Toluca Mayavo's having a big day. Made the stop.
Well, this is good pressure, 5-man rush, and Skelton's going to step up in it, and Mayava just comes off the block and chases him down from behind. With your eyes down the field as a quarterback, you sometimes can't feel or can't hear the pressure chasing you. You can only see what's in front of you.
Mayava has had to step into play for Scott Fujita since Fujita was lost for the season 3 weeks ago. 3rd and 5 for Arizona. Skelton out to Stevens Howling. He has a first down and more for the Cardinals. Joe Hayden drove him out of bounds.
And it's a broken coverage by the Cleveland Browns. Stevens Howling all by himself. He's going to come, this right here, he's going to end up with no defender on him. As he takes the flat route, Gokong, you see here, drops back into the hook zone. Nobody takes the flat area there out by the stick. Miscommunication between Hayden and Gokong.
Stevens Howling, the hero of the overtime win against Dallas as he scored on that 52-yard pass play in overtime. Caught Jeff King, the tight end, into Cleveland territory.
Great protection, great timing, well-placed throw by Skelton. The offensive line, no penetration at all. Skelton, great throw right down the hash mark over the top of DeQuell Jackson, right in front of the safety, Usama Young.
And the Cardinals on the move, trailing by 3. Wells Down to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4. Tama Rubin made the stop.
You can kind of feel this Arizona offense starting to find its rhythm. Skelton, even though he was sacked, they had the penalty that backed him up, managing to convert on the 3rd down, then finding the tight end, and then just methodically moving down the field. This is as good a drive as the Arizona Cardinals have had outside the 2-minute drill.
Chester Taylor is in at running back. 2nd and 6. Skelton extending the play and finally brought down from behind. That was Chris Gokong who brought him down.
Once again, Skelton doing a nice job keeping his eyes down the field, but can't see the pursuit. There's Gokong up here, goes past him, being blocked there pretty well by Chester Taylor, but Taylor just can't keep after him enough as Gokong comes off. Nice attempt to strip the football as well from behind. Skelton doing a nice job of keeping hold of it.
That's one of the things that Ken Wisenhunt told us about John Skelton, that he's more mobile and athletic than you might think for a big guy. Stands in, fires, incomplete. Too low for Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it was a little bit late. Skelton's a little disgusted with that. That was on him. That was a big 3rd down conversion that they could have had. Skelton's late on the throw. As Fitzgerald gets up, the ball should be in the air now, and it's not. It takes that long to get there. It should have been thrown just a half second earlier, even though Skelton, just the extra little hop in there, just makes the ball too late. Fitzgerald wide open for the 1st down, and they couldn't connect.
Zastadil back at his own 40-yard line, gets it away. End over end punt. Gribbs makes the fair catch at around the 12-yard line after a 35-yard punt. Holiday spirit on display here in Arizona. And these fans have gotten a gift here in the second half of the season with the Cardinals playing so well, trying to win their 4th straight to put together their first regular season 4-game winning streak since 1999. But they trail by 3. Hillis on 1st down. Fights his way to the 18-yard line. Sam Acho, the rookie linebacker, made the tackle. And a look at the NFC playoff picture, Steve.
Yeah, Green Bay being handed their first loss of the season. And down here, Detroit trailing by 3 at this point. If they lose, no matter what Arizona does, Arizona stays alive.
But with a Detroit victory and an Arizona loss, the Cardinals are out of the playoff hunt. So that's what they told us. Every game is a playoff game for us. 2nd and 3, Wallace underneath. Jordan Cameron, ball is out. And they're saying he was down at the 21-yard line. Richard Marshall taking it into the end zone, but they'll bring it back.
Yeah, it certainly looked as though the ground caused this fumble. Tucks it away, gets both feet down, and we'll see. Yeah, he had control of the football until he rolled over on the ground. That's a good non-fumble call by the official. Still brings up a 3rd and 1, and as we said earlier, with Peyton Hillis in the backfield, you automatically have the defense jumping into the run game. We'll see what the strategy is for the Browns to pick up this 3rd down. They missed it the last time.
3rd and 1. On their feet again here in Arizona. Hillis. It's going to be close. It all depends on the spot.
Very close. You're right, it completely depends on where they spot this football.
They're going to measure.
He's got to get to the 22-yard line. I don't know.
The Arizona defense has been great on 3rd down. They came in ranked number 1 in the AFC and 3rd overall in the NFL. By the length of the football. 1st down, Cleveland.
Well, the last time they had a 3rd and 1, remember they tried to throw it and got called for an illegal block down the field. This time on a 3rd and 1, they don't mess around. That's a pretty charitable spot, but the Browns will take it. He's asking if he should challenge the spot. He can challenge the spot.
Hey, once again!
He will, and if he doesn't get, even if they move it and they don't get the first down, or he lose the challenge.
From the 22, pump fake from Wallace up the sideline, and too high for Muhammad Massaquoi.
Ken Wisenhunt could have challenged that spot, and the rule says that even if they would have moved it, it comes down to the fact that whether they would have gotten the first down or not, and he decided not to challenge it. And that's the thing about challenging a spot. They may move the spot, but it might not do you any good. You still lose the challenge.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Tight defensive battle. Just over 4 minutes left to play in the 3rd. Hillis. And he was stood up by Darrell Washington, then pushed back.
Well, they've gotten a steady dose of Peyton Hillis today, and they're starting to do a much better job of making sure Seneca Wallace clears him before they drop out into pass coverage. You can bet that the Browns are going to run a play-action fake to Peyton Hillis and try and hit him over the top.
Darrell Washington, great speed, football instincts. He has been a baller for this Arizona defense here in his 2nd season. 3rd and 8 for Cleveland. Wallace runs from the blitz, gets rid of it. That's caught. Greg Little. Greg Little will score for Cleveland.
Incredibly athletic play from Seneca Wallace. He avoids the open rusher on a corner blitz right in his face. You'll see it. Adams comes off the corner, and Wallace just outruns him around the edge and finds Little down the sideline. Greg Little doing a great job seeing his quarterback. He reverses his field, makes himself available deep, and Wallace gets enough on it to find him.
And asking for Darrell Washington, the linebacker, to cover Greg Little might be a little too much, and that cost him. Little with his 2nd NFL touchdown. He's had a bunch of drops, and that's been a problem. He didn't drop that one. Dawson with the extra point. And again, it's a 10-point ball game. 76 yards. Wallace to Little. And the Browns extend their lead here in Arizona.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
After the 76-yard touchdown pass from Seneca Wallace to Greg Little, the crowd here in Arizona is stunned. Quick strike for the Cleveland Browns. 17-7, 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd. Stevens Howling from 2 yards deep. Nice return and finally brought down at a late flag. Took it out to the 35-yard line, but let's check the penalty. Scott Green conferring.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 56. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
They call it on Reggie Walker. 2:53 left to play in the 3rd. 17-7. Browns making some noise here in the Arizona desert. The penalty was on Kalup-Mayava, so the Cardinals will start at midfield, their best field position to start by far. First down, Beanie Wells, nice hole, right side. Pickup of 8 yards.
You look back at the touchdown and how it happened. It's a great defensive call. They've got Michael Adams free on the quarterback. What happens and it's a great call, turns disastrous when Seneca Wallace turns into an athlete, makes something out of nothing, and the team that should have been tackled for a loss because of that athlete at quarterback turns it into a long touchdown pass.
2nd and 2 for the Cardinals. Trying to come right back. Skelton, lots of time. Guns it to Roberts. Roberts driven out of bounds. There's Buster Screen, the rookie out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, who made the stop after a gain of 9.
And this is just a quick little pivot route to the outside. The screen pushes him out.
So 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 33-yard line for the Arizona Cardinals. Down by 10.
One, two's Mike.
Wells alone in the backfield. And he gets it, cuts it back inside, and falls across the 30 down close to the 28-yard line, a gain of 4. Scott Paxson tripped him up.
Good job staying balanced by this Arizona offense. They've got to keep running the football even though they're down 10 deep in the 3rd quarter, almost at the end. They've got to stay balanced, otherwise this defense of the Cleveland Browns will really be able to do some damage. With a young quarterback, I think it's important to continue to keep the pressure off of him from having to throw the football every down.
Skelton has done a nice job. Stands in, again, lots of time. And that's intercepted. Buster Screen came away with it.
Well, they're marking the spot where both players went down. But that was a 50-50 football. And Screen came away with it. Gonna hang on to that one. Skelton put that a little bit behind the intended receiver, and Screen got a chance to get his hands on it and pulled it in.
Let's take another look.
Behind Doucette, backs up.
It bounced off of Doucette.
He got it.
And into the arms of Buster Screen.
It's a pretty good trick to pick the ball off when you've only got 10 guys on the field defensively. You look up here, Sheldon Brown was standing there thinking maybe he should have gone in. But you see there, that ball was thrown behind him. Screen ends up with it. Doesn't touch the ground. Looks like a good pick right there. It does touch the ground. But I don't think he loses control of it.
First NFL interception. And we won't get a challenge. And that looked close.
Yeah, it did.
First and 10 for the Browns. Here's to the 10-point lead. Hillis, nice hole. Peyton Hillis to the 35-yard line. Paris Lennon made the stop, a gain of 5.
Cardinals think the ball came out, and the referees are saying no. But I think I might have taken an opportunity to challenge that if I was Ken Wisenhunt. Every turnovers are an absolute huge thing in football games. And yeah, I think that's no fumble. I think he was down, no question.
20 carries, 87 yards on the day so far for Hillis. Play action from Seneca Wallace trying to set up the screen. They get it to Hillis, who rumbles forward out across the 40. Near the 44-yard line, tripped up by Lennon after a gain of 9.
Turnovers are always huge, and it's amazing that the Arizona Cardinals won last week against the 49ers -3 on turnovers.
They won both those games without turnovers against the Cowboys and then the 49ers. So that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 17-7 Cleveland. We'll return to Glendale after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ready to start quarter number 4 here in Arizona. Browns lead it by 10, 17-7. First and 10 for Cleveland from their own 44-yard line. 3-step drop, out, Massaquoi out of bounds. Just into Arizona territory. Pushed out by Peterson after a pickup of 7.
And Wallace took a nice shot from Darnell Dockett just as he let that go. And it was a nice hit. A little throw down. You see his head go back and hit the turf.
Second and 3 for Cleveland. Arizona trying to get adjusted on defense, showing blitz. And here they come. And that's caught, but it will result in a loss. Cameron Jordan, the rookie tight end, dropped after a loss of 1 by Kerry Rhodes.
Now they sent pressure, no question. There's no receivers wide. They bring everybody from this direction. And as you said, Cameron just turns around, makes himself available. Rhodes comes over, makes the tackle. Great defensive play by the Cardinals. With no wide receivers over there, they just sent pressure and made Wallace make the fast decision.
They were trying to set up a screen, but Pashos couldn't get out there. The right tackle. So 3rd and 5 for Cleveland. Timeout Browns. 13:34 left to play. 17-7. Tonight on 60 Minutes, the new threat from the Great Recession, plus Meryl Streep on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. Another sellout here in Glendale, the 62nd consecutive sellout for the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd and 5 for Cleveland. Wallace had to get rid of the football. The Browns will have to punt. Pressure coming from Darrell Washington.
Once again, they try to go with a screen pass on a critical 3rd down. The pressure's going to come right up the middle. You see they rush 6 guys, and the 7th guy is one-on-one coverage in the backfield, so they've got all those guys right there. Wallace has no chance to make that screen happen. Does the right thing and throws it in the dirt.
Patrick Peterson awaiting the punt at the 10-yard line. Again, they tried to block it. Maynard just gets it away. Peterson makes the fair catch at the 13-yard line. And that's where the Arizona Cardinals will take over, trailing by 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Turn here. Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossover. And by Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint.
Ken Wisenhunt took the Cardinals to their first ever Super Bowl appearance after the 2008 season. He has done just a tremendous job here in the Valley of the Sun, trying to keep this late season surge going. Skelton slant to Doucette, and he's got an Arizona first down. Pickup of 12 once again. Let's go to New York for an update. Here's JB.
Execution.
We'll get back to JB shortly. 1st and 10 for Arizona. From their own 24-yard line. Brown showing blitz, and here they come off the edge. And down goes Skelton. Gokong with the sack.
Well, you could hear it. They called 5-1 wide, and it's almost as though they knew Gokong was the guy nobody was going to be able to block. He's going to come right in off the edge, right there. And they just have too many rushers for the protection. Cardinals could block 5. They brought 6.
3rd sack by the Cleveland Browns. They haven't given up any. 2nd and 19. Skelton able to get free. Slings it. Fitzgerald, and he has an Arizona first down. Out to the 38-yard line.
You see Larry Fitzgerald working up against zone coverage, curls in right behind the area that Doucette vacated, leaves a dead space. Skelton steps up to buy himself some time and delivers the football.
2 catches for 33 yards for Larry Fitzgerald. Short drop for Skelton, timing pattern, and that was not timed well. Early Doucette, the intended receiver, once again. Let's go to JB in New York for New England and Denver, the latest.
Execution, precision.
Yeah, 8 plays, 85 yards, JB. Danny Woodhead, 10-yard run. New England goes 34-16 up. We're starting to enter Tebow time. Is this too big of a deficit? We'll find out.
Back to Bill and Steve.
Thank you, guys. Came from 15 down against Miami to start this whole thing, did Tim Tebow. Keep you posted on that. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals as they try to come back against the Cleveland Browns. Skelton underneath. Todd Heap out close to the 45-yard line. DeQuell Jackson made the tackle, a gain of 7.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are doing okay when they send pressure. When they rush 4, Skelton has not been pressured at all. He has showed great poise. And when he sees the 4-man rush, he has really done a much better job of being patient with the football and allowing the routes to develop. So many times a young quarterback, when he's been sacked a couple of times, will start to throw it a little too quickly, even when there is no pressure.
See what Dick Duran has dialed up on 3rd and 3. Skelton in the seam, Roberts. All the way down to the 34-yard line. Osama Young finally brought him down.
Once again, a 4-man rush, and Skelton stands in the pocket, finds his receiver, Roberts, and they continue to go no huddle. I think it's really helped Skelton in this offense, and it takes the wind out of the pass rush.
Skelton 20 of 31 for 220. That was good for 21 yards. He'll throw again. Fires, caught by Doucette. Another first down. The Cardinals are on the move.
And the reason they're going to this no huddle, or at least one of the benefits of it, is that the big, heavy guys down inside for Cleveland have to run to rush the passer. Then they run back to get lined up, and they can't rotate their defensive line in. And those guys are sucking wind. The big, heavy guys down inside and coming off the edge are losing their ability to rush hard because they're just flat out gassed.
All passes on this drive. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 14-yard line. Inside of 10 minutes left to play. Lots of time again for Skelton. To Stevens howling, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 10, down close to the 7-yard line.
And now they get into the red area. Now the Cardinals are going to huddle up. I think it's a smart move. Everything changes here. They've got a different package of plays and also different personnel in the game as well. So want to make sure they get everything right. Early in the season, they were plagued by red zone turnovers time and time again. They want to make sure not to do that down here where they've got an opportunity to close the gap.
Stevens howling in the game. Skelton takes off. Flag down on the play as Skelton gets it inside the 5, down to about the 3.
Well, you can hear the discussion going on the field as the officials are trying to sort out exactly what the call is going to be. Penalties and turnovers in the red zone are the difference between victory and defeat in this league. You know that.
Holding, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And there's the reason. It brings up a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. You can see there DeQuell Jackson cheering on his teammates, trying to get him to rise up to this challenge. And this is huge for both clubs because this will give Arizona life with 9 minutes to play. They know they'll get the football back, and their defense knows with the stop they've got a chance to win. And the same for the Cleveland defense. If they can hold the Arizona Cardinals here, that gives them more opportunity to hang on to the football and put it away.
The Cardinals have been a comeback team here in the second half, trying to do it again here in Week 15. Skelton to Fitzgerald.
And that was uncatchable.
He was locked up there with Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden was latched on to Larry Fitzgerald hard, but the ball went so far out, I don't think they wanted to throw the flag. You can see there, he's grabbing and pulling him there. And that's the only reason Hayden could keep his feet, was because he grabbed onto Fitzgerald, and that's an uncatchable football.
Second and goal.
That's a good no call.
Lenny!
Wells, touchdown. B.D. Wells.
We said at halftime it was going to come down to the wire, and it looks as though it's going to, as Arizona closes it to 4 points with the extra point pending. Just a hard lead right off the right side. Watch Larry Fitzgerald in motion. Come up, gets a nice block inside out.
Standing up, Titus Brown.
That's so great for a wide receiver to rush, block that way in the run game.
B.D. Wells with his 10th touchdown of the season. The extra point is good. And once again, we've got a 3-point game. B.D. Wells is from Akron, Ohio. He grew up a Browns fan, and the player he admired most was the great Jim Brown. He didn't, of course, get to watch him play, but he liked everything that Jim Brown brought to the position. Feely's kick. Cribbs is going to bring it out. And good coverage on the kickoff. Saturday, it's a special Christmas Eve edition of the NFL on CBS, and the playoff beat goes on as Tim Tebow and the Broncos head to Buffalo to take on the Bills, while Phillip Rivers leads the Chargers against Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Check your local listings, beginning with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. The NFL on CBS.
Larry Fitzgerald talking to B.D. Wells. Fitzgerald throwing a great block, and Titus Brown to get him into the end zone.
And the Browns would love to string together a long drive and take some time off the clock. Hillis, nothing there. He may have lost a yard. Big surge from the guys up front, led by David Carter.
Yeah, the Cardinals were not going to let Peyton Hillis get another first down run like he has so many times today. They were all over that run from the word go. They doing their best to get the football back to their offense to give themselves a chance to win.
Second and 11, inside of 8 minutes left to play. Wallace under pressure, and down he goes. O'Brien Schofield. Now with 3.5 sacks, and that was a big one. In his second year out of Wisconsin, he has brought added speed to the Arizona linebacking corps.
Around the outside, he goes up and around Eddie Williams and then just comes back. Eddie Williams, the fullback, just activated today off the practice squad. His first game, first action of the season. Allows the sack.
Williams up with Owen Marisic out. So 3rd and 15 for Cleveland. Wallace again under pressure. And down he goes. And out goes the football. But they're going to say he was down at the 4. And again, it's Schofield wreaking havoc.
And this is what the Arizona defense has done in the last month and a half. They have just started to turn up the heat. And to their credit, they do it at critical times in the game. You see the pressure come through, and once again, Schofield just gets in, and it looked for a minute like Wallace was going to get hurt there with his leg bent awkwardly, but he gets up and walks off.
Darnell Dockett was back there as well, so the Cardinals should have very good field position after this punt. And now we've got a challenge.
And Wisenhunt is going to challenge that as a fumble, and if there is a fumble and a clear-cut recovery, he can come away with the football. You see he's clarifying as to what he's going to challenge. We'll see what happens.
Arizona is challenging the ruling on the field on the previous play.
Now, if Seneca Wallace lost control of that football before he was down, and the Arizona Cardinals clearly recover it, they can get possession of the football.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And by BP.
And we're back. Scott Green taking a look, and so will we.
Well, after we watched the replay during the commercial, and I think it's going to stand as called, but I've been 0 for the season.
We'll get the call first.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback did not maintain possession of the ball. He lost the ball before he was down. The ball was recovered by Arizona. It'll be Arizona's ball. First and goal on the 5.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes.
Wow.
Arizona is not charged with a timeout.
Steve, you would be all out of timeouts.
I would, and I'll tell you why. The back of his hand, to me, his wrist hits the ground, and that's what causes the ball to come out. If that's the case, right there, he's down when the back of his hand wrist, in my opinion. If anything except the palm of your hand or your feet touch the ground, you're considered down. That is not his hand, that's his arm that's down. That, to me, is being down. They did not see it that way. It looked to me like the ground caused that ball to come loose, and they gave the recovery to Arizona because they clearly made the ball, the recovery as the play continued. Great challenge for Ken Wisenhunt, though.
The Arizona defense playing very well. 3 straight negative yardage plays on that turnover possession. So first and goal for the Cardinals, down by 3. Just outside the 5. Skelton trying to get away, and he's going to be stopped for a loss.
They tried the shovel pass, and
Jabal Sheard was all over Skelton.
Now this obviously was he's going to try and shovel this right there to Stevens Howling. And he's just not open enough, so Skelton keeps it and then pays the price as he's run down by Sheard.
Second sack of the day for Sheard. And the rookie continues to play very well for the Cleveland Browns. Second and goal from the 11. Skelton, incomplete, was trying to hit early Doucette. What you don't want to do is make a mistake and turn the ball over here because you're well within field goal range.
Absolutely. The hesitation move well defended by Dimitri Patterson, who stays with him, comes in underneath from behind to knock that football out of the grasp of Doucette.
Third and goal. 6:21 left to play. Play clock winding down. Got it away. They set up the screen. Chester Taylor dropped for another loss. Cardinals are going the wrong way. And that's Titus Brown. Comes up limping away.
Yeah, if the Cardinals complete another pass, they'll be out of field goal range. But this is obviously a screen pass to everything, all the motion. The quarterback's eyes go to the right. Then they try it back to the left. And you said it, Titus Brown was all over it.
Yeah, he blew it up. So Jay Feely is on to try to tie things up. And got it from 33 yards out. 5:40 left to play. We're tied at 17 here in Arizona.
Well, as this game and others take shape, here's what it's coming down to in the NFC. Arizona over here, all tucked over in the corner. It'll be an amazing stretch if they can come back and make this into a 9-7 season here in Arizona after the stretch they went through in the first half of the season. And of course, here in Arizona, they're watching this score in Detroit very closely. Every game Detroit drops and Arizona wins is one step closer to the miracle of Arizona coming back from that huge stretch of 6 losses and getting in.
Seneca Wallace ready to come back out on the field. Buster Screen is back deep, awaiting the Feely kick. Cardinals working to make a late season push to get to the postseason, trying to win their 4th straight and 6th in their last 7. But the Browns have played awfully well. Screen brings it out. Still on his feet. A flag comes in, and Screen gets it out across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
During return, holding, return team, number 18, 10 yards, spot of the foul, first down.
Josh Cribbs, by the way, has been battling a groin injury, missed practice time this week. And that may have been why he wasn't back to return the kick.
Also, going back to that challenge that led to that possession that went to the field goal, I asked for and got a clarification. The back of the hand is also considered like the front of the hand. So when Seneca Wallace went down, they considered the back of his hand as the thing that hit the ground, not his upper arm. And that's why he was not considered down by the officials.
5.5 minutes left to play. Wallace wants to throw. Incomplete. That was intended for Alex Smith.
So we can debate the challenge and once again that I went over for these challenges. But I thought Seneca Wallace, that challenge to me was obviously a great challenge by Wisenhunt, and it cost Pat Shermer and his team an opportunity to punt the ball out of their own end. But now they're sitting in the 4th quarter of the tie football game, but they still have a shot to win it.
Every game's a playoff game for the Arizona Cardinals, trying to come back from their 1-6 start. Wallace steps up, fires, that's caught by Little. And the rookie with a nice gain out across the 45-yard line to about the 48.
Well, the protection holds up, and Seneca Wallace delivers this football right where it needed to be in the dead spot in the zone. Little grabs it, makes a nice run and tucks it up. Huge play to get this drive started for Cleveland and put them right at midfield.
31 yards on the completion. Hillis alone in the backfield. Inside of 5 minutes left. It's Hillis left side. And the big man rumbles forward close to the 45-yard line of the Arizona Cardinals. And once again, let's check in with JB in New York for the latest on Denver, New England.
No quit in Denver.
Oh, they're down 18. Tebow time. Tim Tebow 2 yards out. They cut the lead to 11 with 8:41 to go. Can they do it again?
Back to Bill and Steve.
Wow. Thank you, guys. 2nd and 4 for the Cleveland Browns. We're tied at 17 here in Arizona. Clock running, just over 4 minutes remaining. Hillis. Great surge by the Arizona front. David Carter made the stop. And once again, let's go to JB in New York.
Lions within 6.
And they're done before in the 4th quarter. Here he goes, Matthew Stafford, 3rd touchdown of the day. This one to Titus Young, 27-21. 4 minutes to go in the game.
Bill and Steve.
All right, men, thank you. That's important because with a Detroit victory and an Arizona loss, the Cardinals would be out of the playoff hunt. 3rd and 5 for Cleveland. Big play coming up. Wallace. Incomplete. Little was the intended receiver. And that will bring up 4th down.
Now once again, the Cardinals bringing an exotic blitz up front. And they didn't get home, but they forced the poor throw.
And for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. Bill McAtee along with Steve Tasker. We're tied at 17. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Punt by Maynard. Again, angled toward the sideline and will go out of bounds. No return for Patrick Peterson.
And that was another outstanding punt by Maynard. No chance to give up a punt return for a touchdown when the ball is kicked out of bounds, particularly at the 11-yard line. A sensational job by the punter from Cleveland.
36-yard punt, and we get word that Titus Brown is out for the rest of the game with a knee injury. Brown's backup linebacker. So John Skelton will have 3 minutes and 15 seconds left.
They did have a lot of success just before halftime in the 2-minute drill. We'll see if they can duplicate that performance here at the end of the game. Brim.
First and 10. Skelton. Incomplete. Fitzgerald and Hayden. And a flag is in.
Yeah, Joe Hayden was all over Fitzgerald.
Interference, defense, number 23. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Going to go right up the sideline. Hayden with his hands on watch. He's going to jump right into him. And you got to play the football.
So they spotted at the 27-yard line. First and 10, 3:11 left to go. Tied at 17 here in Glendale, Arizona. Skelton extending the play. Fires. Heat.
Oh, that was a tremendous throw and catch right there. First of all by Skelton to avoid the rush, and then to gun it low and away to Todd Heap. Heap on the left of your screen going out. You'll see him right at the numbers. Watch Skelton gun this. Right down a foot off the ground, and Heap goes down and gets it.
And a first down for the Cardinals from their own 39-yard line. Skelton again with time. Lets it go. That was almost picked off. Sheldon Brown had a good break on the ball. It was intended for Andre Roberts.
Oh, and you can see the look on his face. Oh, he's looking. He knows he had a shot at this one. Watch as this ball comes in. He's right there. And it just goes off his fingertips. And Roberts almost had a shot to get it after he tipped it. A real role reversal right there as the defensive back who let it go through his fingertips almost got picked up, got caught by the intended receiver.
2:34 left to play. Second and 10 for the Cardinals. A field goal is all they need. Here come the Browns, all out blitz. They check it down. Again, Todd Heap. He's had a huge day. Short of the first down, Eric Hagg made the tackle. 7 catches, Steve, for Todd Heap for 68 yards.
Yeah, Dick Duron, defensive coordinator of the Browns, is bringing in some pressure packages now on the young quarterback, trying to get they're just not getting home, and Skelton is doing a nice job of avoiding it when he can to make a great play.
That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. The Cardinals with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 17 all here in Arizona. Jay Feely, the veteran kicker, with a career long of 55 yards. He did that last almost exactly a year ago. 3rd and 1 for Arizona.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Cardinals with all 3 of their timeouts left. Here come the Browns. Stevens howling. And he's got the first down.
Well, DeQuell Jackson almost makes this play from way inside, coming through all the traffic, almost stops him for the first down. DeQuell Jackson, I mean, you talk about a guy with a nose for the football. I don't know how he got there, but he saved that from being a big play.
DeQuell Jackson has had a huge year. Skelton on first down. Roberts steps out of bounds after a pickup of 8. And for a guy who hasn't played that much, he's got 4 career game-winning drives.
Well, he shows great poise, and we've seen him already in this drive avoid the rush a couple of times when the Browns have gotten 3 guys in on him unblocked. He's a good enough athlete to extend plays, and as we've seen, he's got enough arm to put it anywhere on the field.
He's hit 10 different receivers, 26 of 40 for 272 yards. 2nd and 2. Just under a minute and a half left. Again, flush in the pocket. Throws it away over the head of early Doucette. That will stop the clock with 1:22 left to play.
Good job in coverage in the back end, and watch here. That's Dimitri Patterson working against Doucette. Does a nice job. You see as he looks back for the football. When the defensive back turns and looks to the football and tries to play the ball, the officials almost just swallow their whistle. They're never going to call a defensive pass interference if the guy's looking for the football.
3rd and 2 for the Cardinals. Skelton, incomplete. Was trying to hit early Doucette.
Doucette was not looking for the football. They got a rush, and Skelton wanted to get rid of this football as the pocket collapsed, and right there, Doucette just couldn't get there. Skelton had to throw that right at the defender, and Doucette didn't come across hard enough to reach that point.
Fortunate that Dimitri Patterson didn't intercept the football.
Very fortunate.
So the Cardinals will have to punt.
Think about that drive. The Browns let 2 interceptions slip through their fingers.
Zaskedil. Fair catch called for and made by Cribbs back inside the 10-yard line with 1:10 remaining. Seneca Wallace and the Browns with 2 timeouts left. Phil Dawson, 20 of 25 in field goal tries coming in this week. 7 of those from 50-plus. He came in needing 1 more from 50 yards or more to tie the NFL record of 8 held by the great Morton Anderson and Jason Hanson. But the Browns have a ways to go before Dawson will get a chance. Total yards, just about even. Hillis. Swarmed under near the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're forcing. Well, Arizona's going to take a timeout, and I agree with it. If they're going to run the football on Cleveland's side, they're not going to be able to run the clock out.
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and Meryl Streep, followed by the Survivor finale and live reunion show. That's all tonight on CBS.
If Arizona can keep the Browns from running the football, they're going to force them to throw it, and that's something that doesn't look like the Browns are going to be willing to do with a minute left. And Arizona is going to try and force them to punt it to Patrick Peterson.
Wallace 17 of 27 for 224 yards. They give it to Hillis, who's near 100 on the day, and he squirms forward to the 15-yard line.
And that'll be another timeout by Arizona, which is just under a minute, and that's plenty of time. But this is a crucial down coming up at 3rd and 5. Arizona could force the punt. And I think that's for me, that's way too conservative if I'm the Cleveland Browns. You've got to let Seneca Wallace use his athleticism, at least get him out of the pocket. If you're worried about taking a sack, move him around, let him run the football out, choose whether he's going to run or pass. At least it's no worse than a dive up the middle, even if it is Peyton Hillis. The Cardinals are not going to let you get a first down running.
Cardinals with 1 timeout remaining. The Browns have 2. 3rd and 5 for Cleveland. Play action. Wallace has to throw it away.
Well, there you go.
And that stops the clock with 52 seconds left.
The wasted first and second down by the Browns, trying to dive it up the middle with Peyton Hillis. The Cardinals stopping it, using their timeouts to stop the clock. Now they're going to get the football back with great field position, 52 seconds left, and a timeout.
And then
tremendous clock management by Arizona, and this is exactly the problems when you've got Patrick Peterson, and now Zastudil's got to punt it to him.
Peterson has had a quiet day. He catches it and dropped immediately. Great punt coverage. Buster Screen was down there, and Peterson had nowhere to go after a 55-yard punt.
It was a terrible job by the Arizona Cardinals of stopping the Gunners coming down. Screen gets down there, and he's right there. Peterson does a nice job of catching it, but just a little help gives the best guy on the football field a chance to return it for a touchdown, and they can't get it done in front of him.
So a terrific punt and nice coverage, and the Cardinals now are all the way back at their own 30-yard line. 43 seconds left, one timeout left for the Arizona Cardinals. Skelton gets rid of it. Andre Roberts, and they're going to try to get up in a hurry.
You have one timeout.
Inside of 30 seconds remaining. Skelton again, pump fake. Loads, fires, and incomplete.
It was batted around.
Mike Adams came away with it as if he had intercepted the ball, but they rule it incomplete.
You see here, Adams goes up for it. He can't pull it in. I thought for a moment that Brown was going to come up with it. And there you see the ball drops. It was on the ground.
Another angle.
Oop, just barely. It wasn't that close. I mean, it wasn't that far from being an intercept. That was closer than I thought.
3rd and 1, 16 seconds left. Cardinals still with one timeout. Skelton. Guess who? Fitzgerald can't extend and bring it in, just barely out of his reach.
And I'll tell you, that was 3 feet from being a field goal attempt by the Cardinals. The out and up. And you can see him tracking the ball just that much. If he catches that, slides out of bounds, clock stops, and even if he doesn't, they've got the timeout. And that was well within field goal range.
So we could be headed to overtime.
And now the Cardinals are faced with the same dilemma that the Browns had. They're kicking it to Josh Cribbs, who could go the distance.
That's the bill. Cribbs waves everybody off, and it bounces out of bounds inside the 20-yard line as we have reached the end of regulation. Tied at 17.
Sudden death, overtime.
Scott Green making it official. We will go to an overtime period. And Steve, a look at the rules for OT.
Will be exactly like the beginning of the game. They'll toss the coin, and you get to pick whether you want. You can kick, receive, or defend an end. Everybody gets 2 timeouts. Everything's exactly like the last 2 minutes. All challenges will come from upstairs, and it's sudden death. Or sudden victory, whichever team you happen to be on.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to play sudden death overtime. We will use 4th quarter timing rules. First team to score wins the game. All replay will be handled upstairs in the booth. You each get 2 timeouts. Cleveland, you're the visitor. Who's going to call the coin?
Tails.
Tails is the call. It is a tail. Okay.
There we go. The Browns will have it to start the overtime period here in Arizona. Regulation ends tied at 17. Well, Detroit has just taken the lead. So if they hang on and win that over the Oakland Raiders, then the Cardinals are in a must-win situation. Otherwise, they're eliminated from the playoff picture. Feely will kick it off to start the OT. And Buster Skrine once again is back deep for Cleveland, 5 yards deep in the end zone. And he takes a knee. He may have stepped out of the end zone anyway. And for the latest on Detroit and Oakland, let's send you to New York. Here's JB.
Stafford and Megatron.
A 98-yard drive that culminates with this Stafford to Kelvin Johnson, 4-yard touchdown pass, then a 6-yard touchdown pass, fourth of the day, 14 unanswered points, and the Detroit Lions take the lead 28-27, 21 seconds to go.
Back to Bill and Steve.
Wow. Thanks again, fellas. Great action here in Week 15. First and 10 for Cleveland. Opening possession of overtime. Wallace. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Greg Little. And that could have been picked off.
Yeah, Greg Little doesn't break this route off flat. He kind of rounds it off. Drifts backwards, and that allows the defender to jump in down in front. You see he almost gets there. I believe that's Wilson, who cuts off in front. He just can't pull it in.
Adrian Wilson, the four-time Pro Bowl safety, so second down for Cleveland. Wallace was trying to get everyone aligned properly, and someone moved.
Wallace trying to change the play, and his team jumped.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Tony Pashos, the right tackle.
Well, there's also Sean Laval. Both guys will jump up here. It's a terrible time for a false start.
And that's got to be frustrating. Second and 15 for Cleveland. Cardinals trying to win their fourth straight. Stay alive in the playoff hunt. Wallace with a deep drop. Pressured. Gets free, and this is why he's so dangerous and maybe hit out of bounds. But there's no flag.
But you're right, that was on the borderline of being a late hit on the quarterback. Or on a player out of bounds. He actually turns into a running back here. And you'll see that, and that was right on the fringe. Yeah, I don't know why that was not called.
That was Rashad Johnson.
A late hit out of bounds, and the officials must have deemed he was not quite, his foot hadn't landed out of bounds yet, I guess.
15 yards and a first down on the run by Seneca Wallace, who was flushed in the pocket by Darnell Dockett. Hillis upended across the 30 by Washington.
Yeah, that hit out of bounds, that's exactly the kind of hit you see called, although in overtime perhaps the officials are unwilling to blow the whistle to have a play that may decide the game. I think you call it the same in the first quarter as you do in overtime, and I think they would have called that as a late hit out of bounds, although it goes for nothing. And Wallace had a nice play to get that out near the 30-yard line.
Second and 7. We're in overtime here in Arizona. The Browns and the Cardinals. Wallace to Little. And gets out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
You know, it's interesting that when you go into these overtime games, and I think the Browns are doing a little bit right now, all of a sudden, Seneca Wallace is dropping back every play. They handed it off once to Peyton Hillis, but you've got, time is not a factor anymore. You don't have to have the sense of urgency you do late in the fourth quarter. Now you can run your normal offense. You don't have to drop back and throw it every down, and yet that's what they're doing, as opposed to when they were backed up and they kept handing it off to Peyton Hillis when they needed a first down to put the game away.
On their feet and loud here at University of Phoenix Stadium. Wallace now lets it go. Incomplete, threw it up for Mohamed Massaquoi, who may have jumped a little bit early.
Yeah, he mistimed his jump. You'll see as he sees Wallace get out as he gets tripped up, and just jumps a little. I don't know that he would have caught it anyway. But going down, getting back up, making himself available. Wallace doing a great job extending that play, but couldn't make the first down.
So we'll see Brad Maynard again on 4th and 6. Peterson back at his own 20. Another good high punt. Peterson's going to return this one, tries to get to the edge, and does. Peterson out of bounds at the 40.
Peterson was sensational on this. He pointed to the ball to the sideline and made the Browns coverage think the ball was going to land wide, and then he came up and caught it inside the hash mark, or inside the numbers. Watch that head fake. Eric Hagg loses a step, and it gives him the edge, but Patrick Peterson does a sensational job of decoying the coverage into thinking the ball was in a different area of the field, giving himself room to catch it.
A 32-yard return. They toss it back to Beanie Wells. Inside the 35 to around the 33. Ataba Rubin made the stop. A gain of 7.
And that's a nice job by Arizona. They're not caught up in this helter-skelter overtime mentality. They settle down, they just turn around, hand it on a normal running play to Beanie Wells. A nice 6-yard gain on first down. There's no sense of urgency, no panic at all. Arizona methodically coming down and running their normal offense.
Cardinals have played in a lot of close ball games this season. Good penetration. Nothing there. Mike Adams and Asama Young were in the backfield.
Another blitz dialed up by Dick Duran, bringing the pressure. Great job pushing them back to the edge of field goal range. It'll still be just inside 55 yards if they don't make another yard, and I think you got to try it if you're Arizona. You're in field goal range. You got to let your guy give it a shot.
Feely with a long of 51 this season, career long of 55. 3rd and 6 for the Cardinals. Skelton lofts it. Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, the one guy you got to keep track of is Larry Fitzgerald, and they lost him. Dimitri Patterson with deep help from Hagg, and they just lose track of Larry Fitzgerald.
And how does the best receiver in the National Football League get that wide open? And the Cardinals not wasting any time. Jay Feely out to try the field goal that would win it. Well, week 9 against St. Louis, Josh Brown's field goal attempt at the end of regulation blocked. And then Patrick Peterson returns it 99 yards to win in overtime, 19-13. Week 13 against Dallas. Dan Bailey misses a 43-yard field goal attempt at the end of regulation, and then Rod Stevens-Howling broke free for a 52-yard touchdown in OT, and another win, 19-13. And all set up by that tremendous return by Peterson, the rookie.
Yeah, Peterson, it was set up by what happened before he caught it. It was tremendous awareness by him, tremendous savvy and understanding of what it's like to cover a kick, using it against the coverage team.
Feely on to win it. From 22 yards out, and he's got it. And the Arizona Cardinals are still alive. Our final score, 2017 Cardinals for Steve Tasker. Bill McAtee saying so long from Glendale, Arizona. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, and now let's go to JB in New York.